Hey guys, what is going on? It is Dennis here and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a short tip video on spell traces and fever time. So with the advent of spell traces, which Nexon has been pushing forward, it's allowed us to have a new way to increase our items. And of course, we do have the older ways such as Incredible Chaos, Scroll of Goodnesses, and Prime Scrolls. So a lot of people are very confused as to which way is the more efficient way. So me being a merchant and me being a bosser, I do look at this in both ways, and I do want to, as a bosser, I do want to have the best equips I can have, but as a merchant, I also want to do it in the most cost efficient way possible. So this is where my mindset is coming from when I make this video. Personally speaking, I prefer using 70% spell traces. As you will see in the future when I upload my Nightwalker videos, his equips or his armor pieces have been scrolled with 70% spell traces, and his weapon was scrolled with 30% spell traces. So spell traces during fever time have an increased success rate, as you can see in the chart in the video, and a 70% spell trace goes to 95%. So you can imagine going to 95%, add a little bit more diligence, or if you're in a leveled up guild, you will have 4% more success on scrolling attempts. So with all that put in mind, you should be able to obtain 100% success rate in a moderately easy fashion. So with that in mind, 70% goes to 100%. You do not need to use clean slates. So you can imagine how cost efficient this method is, and especially for somebody who's funding on a budget, or even someone who's in moderate levels of funding, this is an excellent way to do it. So I do highly recommend going with 70% spell traces. And for those people who want to push a little bit further and they want to actually go into high levels of funding, they may consider things such as Prime Scrolls, which give plus 10 all stats to their armors. And what I have to say about that is, unless you are a Xenon, there's really no need to go with Prime Scrolls, because Prime Scrolls give plus 10 all stat, or in other words, it gives plus 10 of your stats. So let's say you're a Kaiser. It gives plus 10 strength for your Kaiser, and it gives plus 10 of every other stat. But because you're a Kaiser, only the plus 10 strength will really benefit you. So you're paying for a lot, but you're only getting 1/4 of the actual benefits. So the Prime Scroll, which is very difficult to obtain and very expensive, and it forces you to use shield scrolls and protection scrolls and all these other things. It gives plus 10 stats, and your 30% spell trace gives plus 7 stats. If you put that together and you think about it, plus 3 for each scroll isn't actually game breaking. Yes, you can say it is somewhat big, but it's not going to break you if you lose that. So you may consider that if you want to fund and you are doing it still on a budget. Of course, if you have unlimited funds, the Prime Scrolls would be the best way to do it. But of course, I just wanted to put this idea out there that you don't need to Prime Scroll. And finally, with scrolling your weapon, as I mentioned earlier on the video, I used 30% spell traces for my Nightwalker's Claw. And personally, if you compare 30% spell traces with 15% spell traces, the 15% give plus 9 attack, and the 30% give plus 7 attack. So a fully scrolled item, which is 10 scrolls past, will have a 20 attack difference between 30% and 15%. So personally speaking, I went for the 30%, so I had 20 attack less. So of course, when I do enhance my item, I'll have even less. So I lose about 25 attack. So you may want to consider the 30% spell traces for losing just around 25 attack. And personally for me, I don't mind losing the attack because it was more cost efficient. So once again, it's all a matter of your budget. And you look at your budget, you juggle around how much money you can put into what items. So this video is just a way to introduce the idea. You don't need to go all the way full out and just kill your wallet in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve in this game. So there is a fever time coming this weekend, and I do encourage you guys who are trying to fund to take advantage of this event and have fun doing it. So I wish everybody the best of luck in their scrolling, and as always, have fun, and thank you guys so much for watching this video.